How long does it take to improve credit score? Did you know that you can improve your credit score by 100 points in just a matter of weeks? Yes, it's true. I did it, and I'm going to tell you exactly how you can do it too. Let's go.
Noel. Yeah, she can fix that. If you gotta get it done, no, you need to do it better. Well, she can fix that. Yeah, she can fix that. Investment to get back, trying to get a big stack. She can fix that. Let's fix that.
I'm going to tell you the biggest secret to increasing your score by 100 points in less than 60 days. I will provide you a detailed step-by-step plan to accomplishing this so that you know all of the steps with nothing missing. And last but not least, I'm going to share with you the #1 secret to increasing your score for free. So let's now talk about credit, because this is so important. I feel like so many people do not truly know and understand credit. So let me quickly tell you so that you know the details of it. When it comes to personal credit, many of you guys already know we have 3 bureaus. We have Equifax, we have TransUnion, and we have Experian. And all 3 of those credit bureaus will report our personal credit, okay? And they're called trade lines. For example, if you have a credit card through Chase, it'll have a trade line. It'll say Chase Bank. It'll say when you open the account. It will say how much you owe them, what your max limit is, and it will have a category that tells how you've paid them, whether you've paid them on time, whether you've made all your payments, 0, 0, 0, 30 days, no 30-day lates, no 60-day lates, no 90-day lates. And so every different account that you have, whether it be your credit cards, your auto loans, your student loans, or some of you have a mortgage, they'll all report on your credit report. You will need a different mix of types of trade lines. You'll have, for example, like credit cards. Those are revolving accounts. You'll have car loans. Those are installment accounts. And then you may have student loans or mortgages that are categorized, of course, as student loans or mortgages. And you want a different mix of all of those accounts because you don't want just all credit cards or just one mortgage or just one car loan. In order to have a perfect credit score over 720, which is a great credit score, and anything over 720 usually will get you almost anything that you want. To have those, you will need to have a different mix of credit cards. You'll need to pay all of your accounts on time. That's a really big thing. And you will have to keep your credit cards not near the limit. Some people will tell you you want to keep your credit card utilization around 30%, meaning if you have a credit card and the limit is $1,000, you wouldn't want to charge more than $300 on that account. Otherwise, it will lower your credit score. However, I can tell you unequivocally, you'll want it even less than that. Like, you really don't want to go for like 10% utilization if you want these really high credit scores. So what you can do, and I'll give you some tips and tricks on how to keep your credit score high, but just know that those are the basics of personal credit, and all 3 of those bureaus will matter and they will all report similar information. So let me tell you how to get that credit score up if you're having some issues. So now let's talk about credit scores. Many of you guys know Noel, and you know some of my story, but I'll quickly explain to you how I learned so much about credit. I literally started off in my parents' basement, okay? This is when I really learned about credit because I had bad credit. So I started flipping houses in like 2002, 2003. I was living in Atlanta and I was working full time. So lo and behold, when the market crashed in 2008, we lost everything. I had bad credit. I had multiple foreclosures. I had no money. I lost all my rental properties, and I literally ended up back in my parents' basement. Like I said, we were bankrupt and we had multiple foreclosures. So guess what? I had terrible credit. My credit score was so terrible, but it changed. So while I was in my parents' basement, I found me a real estate coach, and he changed my life. He taught me something called wholesaling. I make a ton of videos teaching you how to wholesale, basically how to invest in real estate with bad credit and no money. I'll put a link above for you. You can watch that entire video. But here is where I really learned about credit, because I wanted to invest in real estate. I didn't want to be this loser in my parents' basement. And he was teaching me, of course, how to invest in real estate with bad credit and no money. But at the same time, I knew eventually I was going to have to fix my credit because I didn't just want to wholesale forever. Eventually, I wanted to get back into fixing and flipping, and I wanted rental properties, and I didn't really want to have bad credit. So long story short, I got a sponsor. He told me a quick way to get my credit score back. I asked my dad, who at the time had really great credit, and he still does, if he could make me an authorized user on some of his credit cards. Boom. I cannot tell you this, that everybody has a person like my dad, but I'm pretty sure you probably do. An aunt, an uncle, a cousin, a sister, someone that has good personal credit, and they can add you as an authorized user on their credit cards. This increased my credit score by over 100 points. Literally, my dad had a credit card, 2 or 3 credit cards, so American Expresses, and he added me as an authorized user. Now, many of you will think, oh, that's so risky for your dad. Well, it wasn't. He never gave me the credit card. He just put me on those accounts, and those accounts started reporting to the credit bureau and boosted up my credit score. And I'm going to give you some more other tips on what I did, because that was how I easily got 100 points and how you can do the exact same too. Let's keep going. So let me tell you 3 quick ways to increase your credit score fast. The first thing that you want to do, like I said, I had bad credit, so I needed to get some of those bad debts and all of those collections and things like that off of my credit report. So like I said, I had filed bankruptcy and I had multiple foreclosures. So I had public records. My credit was an absolute disaster. But one of the things that you can do, depending on your credit situation, is you literally can get collections and charge-offs removed. You do not have to pay them. Again, I made an entire video. I'm going to put a link in the description box so you can watch that whole video where I explain why you should never pay collections or charge-offs. But I'm going to tell you, you do not have to pay them. And if you watch that whole video, I tell you the letters that you use and exactly how to get them off. Doing so will increase your credit score exponentially, and it doesn't take very long, and it's free, okay? I know those collection people are probably calling you and telling you you have to pay them in order to get this off of your credit report, but I promise you that is not true. Depending on the charge-off or the collection, especially if it's a charge-off, you probably do not want to pay it, and you can probably get it removed off of your credit report very easily with just a few steps. So make sure you watch that video. The next thing that you want to do, like I said, is the authorized user. Super easy. I explained it in step 1, getting added as an authorized user and finding a sponsor. Again, it is very little risk to that person because they do not have to give you the credit card in order for it to report on your credit bureau and for it to increase your credit score. All right. Now, if they give you the credit card and you run it up, that's probably not the situation that I'm talking about. But again, if you have a sponsor, getting added as an authorized user is a quick and easy way to get that credit score. And then the next way that you want to do is getting new credit. This is going to be a little bit more difficult because you're like, wait, I already have bad credit in many cases. How am I going to get new credit? Well, this is actually pretty easy. There are tons of credit cards that are secured and they will report on your credit report, okay? So you literally can do 2 things. You can get a secured credit card, meaning you go ahead to like a Wells Fargo, Chase, whatever bank, you give them $500 and they will give you a credit card that you can use that has $500 on it. So literally all you did was take your money and trade it in for a credit card that will report on your credit bureau. Boom. That's one way. And another thing that you can do, and this is a super bonus that I'm just telling you because just Noelle loves telling you everything, is you literally can start building business credit, okay? And this is absolutely what changed my life, where now I'm from 6 figures easily into multi-7 figures, okay? And this is business credit. You literally do not have to rely on your personal credit for all of the money and the funds that you need. You can build a business credit profile, get a business, build a business credit profile, and start borrowing and getting credit cards, loans, lines of credits, all of that in your business's name without it reporting on your personal credit. This is literally what changed my life, which is now I have this 800 credit score and I never have to touch it because I have business credit and I use my business credit cards and my business funds for everything that I do, and I don't have to worry about personal credit anymore. Again, I made a whole video, so I'm going to put a link to it so you can watch that entire video where I teach you how to build business credit in just a few days. It's super easy and anyone could do it. And again, it's not very expensive to do. So there you have it. You know exactly how to increase your credit score. I've told you everything that I know and how to do it and how you can do the exact same thing. So make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you click that little notification bell so you don't miss any of this content that I'm bringing to you every single weekday. This is Noelle. I want to make sure that you have all of the resources, all of the knowledge, and all of the tools that you need to be successful. This is Noelle. To your success.